After being silent for nearly 24 hours with his whereabouts completely unknown, India's former Finance Minister P Chidambaram emerged at the Congress party headquarters in India's capital, New Delhi, where he claimed innocence and said that he will not bow down to the top court of India even if he is allegedly framed. However, the Congress party leader refused to take any questions from the media and walked away post the press conference. Meanwhile, the CBI team has reached the Congress party headquarters but have been blocked by Congress workers who are staging protests.
Good evening. I believe that the foundation of a democracy is liberty. The most precious article of the Constitution of India is Article 21 that guarantees life and liberty. If I am asked to choose between life and liberty, I shall unhesitatingly choose liberty. Why are the years up to 1947 called the years of freedom struggle? Because to win freedom, we must struggle. To preserve freedom too, we must struggle. In the last 24 hours, much has happened that has caused concern to some and confusion to many. My statement today is to dispel that concern and confusion. In the INX media case, I have not been accused of any offense, nor has anyone else, including any member of my family, does not impute to me any wrongdoing. Yet there is a widespread impression, and my son and I have committed those offenses. Nothing can be further from the truth. These are lies spread by pathological liars. When I was summoned by the CBI and then the ED to appear for questioning, I naturally sought interim protection against arrest from the competent court. I was granted interim protection by orders of the High Court dated 31st May 2018 and 25th July 2018. I have enjoyed the interim protection for the last 13 to 15 months. The matters were finally heard on 25th January 2019 and judgment reserved. Now, after 7 months, yesterday, the High Court was pleased to dismiss the pre-arrest bail applications. My lawyers, who are also my dear friends and who are present here, advised me to move the Supreme Court. On my behalf, they did so yesterday evening and today. They appealed repeatedly to the Honorable Supreme Court to list the appeals for hearing urgently and in the meanwhile grant me interim protection. While my lawyers, all senior counsel, were moving the Supreme Court, other lawyers and I worked through the night last night to prepare the papers. We completed the task only this morning and immediately filed the appeals in the Supreme Court. I was working alongside my lawyers the whole of last night. Today, throughout the day, I was with my lawyers following the proceedings in the Supreme Court. I was aghast that I was accused of hiding from the law. On the contrary, I was seeking the protection of the law. I was accused of running away from justice. On the contrary, I was engaged in the pursuit of justice. My lawyers have told me that despite their impassioned pleas, the cases were not listed for hearing today, nor will they be listed tomorrow, but will be listed only on Friday. I bow down to the orders of the Honorable Supreme Court. Between now and Friday, I shall walk with a clear conscience and my head held high. I shall respect the law, even if it is applied with an unequal hand by the investigating agencies. In the name of freedom, I can only hope and pray that the investigating agencies will also respect the law. In the present circumstances, respect for the law can mean only one thing: await the decision of the Honorable Supreme Court on Friday. Some days ago, when I spoke in Parliament, I had said that every judge in this country will uphold the liberty of a citizen. I had said that the collective conscience and the institutional memory of the court as a venerable institution will guide all judges of the country. As much as I believe in liberty, I also believe in the wisdom of our judges. So, friends, until Friday and beyond, let us hope that the lamp of liberty will shine bright and illuminate the whole country. Thank you very much.
No question. And now we have our political editor, Kartikeya Sharma, joining us on the phone line for more. Kartikeya, the lamp of liberty will shine bright is the last words of Chidambaram in that press conference. But the next 24 hours are going to be tense for him.
Not only that, I think the Congress party, by getting all the leaders to support P Chidambaram, has taken two decisions. One, that they have lent weight behind the former Union Home Minister and Finance Minister against the corruption case. Secondly, what they have done is that they have pitted judiciary against the vendetta, and it is not natural legal proceedings. Two things have happened. But I think what has happened in between is that 3 times through the day, and I think the High Court. Now he wanted that interim protection from the Supreme Court. Supreme Court refused that urgent hearing. Now, in absence of it, he is vulnerable to arrest in the legal assault on him, and this is political vendetta against him. But the fact of the matter is that he also went missing, absconding. So what Congress party, as my sources has told me, decided to come back and present Mr. Chidambaram. But there's a problem here, Christian, that one, Mr. Chidambaram vanished after doing a press conference. Second, he did not take questions. Third, CBI team reached the political headquarters of the grand old Congress party, embarrassing them further. So I don't know how the optics will change, but I think the whole thing, this thing was done so that the message which was going that a person who served as a union minister for 10 years has gone missing. So the press conference was to create a different messaging.
Right, Kartikeya, even as we speak, we are getting information that Chidambaram has reached his residence. He's back at his Jor Bagh house in Delhi.
You know, if that is happening, because, you know, I'm outside 24 Akbar Road, which is where the headquarters is, and if it is correct, it means that they have decided that let Chidambaram be picked up, let him be taken to the CBI or ED headquarters, and then he will be out. My sources tell me that the Congress is pretty sure that the Chidambaram will be given protection by the Supreme Court. But then, in the meantime, if he has to serve, in the detention, then let that be, because he has no protection. And the more he stays away from the gaze of public, the more he will be construed as an absconder, not as a politician who is being persecuted. So right now, it's not about the legality, it's more about the optics of politics.
More about optics of politics. Kartikeya Sharma joining us on the phone line. Kartikeya, stay with us. For all those who've just tuned into this broadcast, these are visuals of the scenes outside the Congress party headquarters, the CBI office in Delhi. at the Congress headquarters. CBI officials had come to get Mr. P Chidambaram, but Congress workers fending off the CBI officials even as P Chidambaram made his way to his residence. Now we understand that Chidambaram has reached his house in the Jor Bagh area of Delhi. He had just addressed the press conference at the Congress Party headquarters in Delhi, from where he's reached home now. Meanwhile, even as he finished his press conference, CBI officials were right there outside the Congress Party headquarters. And Kartikeya Sharma now joins us on the phone line. Kartikeya, as you've been telling us, this is not about the legality of the case anymore, because Chidambaram has put up that defense saying that he is technically not accused in the case. He technically doesn't have to be arrested for an investigation in this case. But it is not about the technicality, as you've been telling us. It is all about how he is being made to look, and more importantly, how the Congress Party is projecting itself at this point in time.
Well, absolutely, it's about the politics of it. For example, Chidambaram's team has argued, one, that his passport has been confounded. Secondly, he has appeared before ED and CBI. Third, that he has not left Delhi. Fourth, he is not tampering the evidence. Fifth, that he has not influenced any public servant. So he qualifies for a bail. Now, if you go by the logic of the law, Mr. Chidambaram should get a bail. But the issue is not that. The issue is that why did Mr. Chidambaram switch off his mobile phone and went incommunicado, and his lawyers became so aggressive in Supreme Court, which includes Kapil Sibal and other people? Why did that happen? So I think, most of the times legal issues become political, and in this context, it's more political than legal. If today Mr. Chidambaram wants to take a moral high ground, in my assessment is that I think he's slightly late in the day, Christian, for one reason. He could have done it today morning. By exhausting all his appeals, he comes across as a person who has not been left with any option. So, well, ultimately it will be decided by people whether he'll get the sympathy or not. But the bottom line is that this is not about the law. Right now, this is not about the legality of the case. It is more about making Chidambaram as a person who is being persecuted. In politics, it's an open game. Who wins right in the coming assembly states will decide.
Right, and just to backtrack on the case we're talking about, there's also the Aircel Maxis case. Chidambaram has been under the scanner of both the Enforcement Directorate and the CBI in multitude of cases.
Absolutely. See, there are two things. The INX case was about transferring of 305 crore rupees to India. It was also about the role which Karti Chidambaram played, P Chidambaram's son. Now, Indrani Mukherjee, who has been indicted in murder of her own daughter, Sheena Bora, has turned a prover in the case. She has apparently told the court saying that when P Chidambaram, when she met P Chidambaram with then husband Peter Mukherjee, the great media mogul then, they were asked to meet Karti in a 5-star hotel so that they could help him for his business. Karti suggested names of the two companies. On both which Peter Mukherjee said, well, it's not possible because there are overseas transactions. Then one other company was suggested and the money was transferred. So in that, Indrani Mukherjee has said that yes, kickback was paid. In the Aircel Maxis case, it involves not only Marans of the DNK family, but it also involves Karti Chidambaram. Aircel Maxis approval took place in the FIDP rules. Now, foreign investment rules during UPA 1 was that under 600, the finance minister could approve. Over that, the cabinet committee on economic affairs had to approve. But Mr. Chidambaram approved the FDI worth 3,500 of Aircel Maxis on his own. And these are the two cases under which he is being investigated.
Kartikeya Sharma, political editor, joining us with that perspective on that big dramatic development that took place in India's capital, New Delhi, just a short while ago, just about half an hour ago, in fact. P Chidambaram, former finance minister of India, who was reportedly missing even as the Enforcement Directorate and the CBI were hot on his trail to arrest him, suddenly emerged at the Congress Party headquarters in New Delhi. These are visuals from the scenes outside the Congress Party headquarters, where Congress Party workers fended off CBI officials who had reached the premises. Even as news of P Chidambaram's presence over there emerged. We understand now that P Chidambaram has left the Congress Party headquarters and is now at his residence in Jor Bagh in New Delhi. And these are visuals of the scenes outside the Congress Party headquarters. Dramatic developments this evening. Keep in mind, P Chidambaram had a lookout notice issued against him. And now he has emerged in front of the media and claimed innocence and has portrayed himself as a victim and that he was seeking protection from the law through the anticipatory bail plea. Kartikeya, this whole thing boiled down to this anticipatory bail plea, and it was finally only up to the Chief Justice of India to decide even whether to hear this plea or not.
Well, now the matter will rest with the Chief Justice of India because it has been listed on Friday, but Chidambaram does not have any protection, which means that if Chidambaram has gone back home, since I'm there at the Congress headquarters, and if he has reached his home, and if CBI and ED wants to question him, if they want to take him away to questioning at their headquarters, it means that Chidambaram has no so-called security against arrest. His anticipatory bail prevention order has been revoked by the High Court. So which means that the former Union Finance and Home Minister is very much vulnerable to clear-cut arrest by the court. Now what it needs to be deciphered is, will they do it today? Enforcement Directorate has asked Chidambaram to appear before them on Friday. I do not know whether the Central Bureau of Investigation has made the same case, but if that is the case, then he might not be arrested. But if CBI has not done it, or if ED has not done it, and if CBI has done it, which means that in one of the cases, he might be taken to the headquarters. Now, Congress Party needs to decide as to what they need to do. But my understanding, Krishna, is that they have decided to take a moral high ground, understanding that the Chidambaram might be arrested tonight.
That's the latest coming in from Kartikeya Sharma, political editor. Kartikeya, stay with us. Chidambaram might be arrested tonight. That is a possibility because he has emerged after 24 hours where nobody knew his whereabouts. His phone was switched off and is currently at his residence. His plea will not. That 6-minute news briefing that he will bow down to the orders of the Supreme Court of India and wait for his anticipatory.
Up by CBI or Enforcement Directorate. Congress would like to take a moral high ground, but that's the politics of it. But the bottom line is that he does not have any that over life, he loves the value of liberty. But the fact of the matter is that Mr. Chidambaram's phone call was himself, or his phone was himself, out of touch. Now, on the other hand, the other agencies have decided they need to question him. But I would set all that aside. Bottom line here is that there is a fight between Bharatiya Janata Party and Congress in context of hegemony in India, one. Secondly, Chidambaram was one person who was loathed by RSS and BJP for his own pressure and own pursuance of the issue of saffron terror, secondly. And third, Mr. Chidambaram himself came under a lot of limelight for the FIPB clearance, which were given, which was in direct violation of the law in place. So Mr. Chidambaram is in big trouble right now, as per the Indian law. Secondly, he has taken a position which is completely antithetical to the ideological core of Bharatiya Janata Party and RSS Parivar. And lastly and foremost importantly, he has lost the battle of perception. If Mr. Chidambaram was so forthright in terms of trust in context of the rule of law, he should have gone to court himself rather than embarrassing the Congress Party, where CBI came and he then disappeared and he went back to his home.
Kartikeya, I just have one more thing to ask you at this stage. in the press conference, P Chidambaram had claimed that neither him nor anybody in his family are accused in this case for which he needs an anticipatory bail, and which means that right now, if Mr. P Chidambaram is who everybody's focus is on, his son Karti Chidambaram could be the focus next.
Well, there are two issues here. Karti Chidambaram has got bail on the same case in which Mr. Chidambaram is being tried. That's the delicious irony, Krishna. Karti Chidambaram has a bail in the same case in which Mr. Chidambaram has been stripped of his immunity. But the case went to a different judge. But that's not the issue. Issue is that there are cases against Congress leaders or people belonging to the Gandhi family in the issues of corruption, which has been very important for Bharatiya Janata Party in ensuring that they are seen differently from the Congress. Robert Vadra is under investigation. Mr. Chidambaram is under investigation. Karti Chidambaram is under investigation. And Bhupinder Singh Hooda, the former Chief Minister of Haryana, is under investigation. So this brings the whole cabal of the former powerful leaders under the gauge of the civil society. I think that's where the story lies. Because anti-corruption, or sort of the corruption as an issue, continues to be an important issue or the cornerstone when it comes to the national middle class.
Kartikeya Sharma, our political editor, joining us even as we continue to bring you dramatic developments in India's capital, New Delhi. Visuals on the screens of the chaos outside the Congress party headquarters as P Chidambaram, the former finance minister, suddenly emerged for a dramatic press conference and quickly left even as the CBI officials reached the Congress party headquarters. Chidambaram is currently at his home in Jor Bagh in New Delhi, and there is a possibility that he could be arrested because the CBI officials have already reached his house too. And we here at Wion World is One are bringing you minute-by-minute updates on all the latest updates on this front.